Hello and welcome back to my channel. It's Saturday the 4th of March and I was looking just before we came on at my laptop and recorded weights for the last month, and I noticed that today I am 1.5 pounds lighter than I was at the beginning of February, and this is something I want to kind of focus on now rather than worrying about my weekly weight, because of course I'm maintaining. I decided to look at what I weighed at the beginning of each month. On the 4th of February I weighed 9 stone 9.5 pounds, and I've been up and down during the month, and today I weigh 9 stone 8 pounds. So I thought that's just another indicator for me to keep an eye on. My results for this week are that I decided to have 1 A choice, 2 B choices and 15 sins every day. So rather than counting my coconut oil as an A choice, which is not strictly Slimming World, I decided to sin it and count 6 sins every day for my coconut oil. So I've had 15 sins a day, 6 of which have been for coconut oil. I've used my sins this week on what I see as healthy options, things like fresh olives, super sprouting seed things, what they're called, super sprouts. Super sprouts, about 3.5 sins a pot, and avocado, and I count 5 sins for 50 grams of avocado, and believe me, I could eat a bucket load of this stuff. I love it. Anyway, so I've chosen healthy options. I try to avoid sugar because for me today sugar is just dead calories, and I need healthy food because I believe that what I eat today is what I will become. So if I'm putting dead food in, my body is going to lose energy and lose health trying to do something with that dead food. Whereas if I'm putting good, wholesome, healthy food in, my body has a chance to regenerate with that food and produce really healthy cells. And hopefully, if I eat enough blue or purple things, anti-aging will kick in and I won't look like some old crone by the time I'm 63. But time will tell. Anyway, it's been a good week. So I've had 1 A choice, 2 B choices, 15 sins every day. I've walked 26.11 miles, which is way down on normal, but it's all we had time to do this week. Weather permitting, we walked in very cold weather this week, we've walked in pouring rain this week, and we managed to get 26.11 miles in between doing lots of other stuff. My result was I maintained. Now, I was texting Debbie SW first thing this morning saying, I really feel like I've gained a couple of pounds, and I think was an element of fear in there because I'd upped my sins, and I guess I'm still of that mindset in the back of there somewhere that says sins are treats, sins are increased calories. I need to let go of that, because although sins are a pleasure and allow me to eat the food like avocado and olives and things I really enjoy, they are not bad things, they are not treats and cheats, they're just good choices for me, and my body will react accordingly. So I think that's what happened this week. I think I got the result I deserved, which was a maintain, and I'm going to go forward, I'm going to try, and I'm going to do the same thing again this week. 1 A choice, 2 B choices and 15 sins a day, and I'll see where that takes me. Fabulous group this morning. We had a weight loss of around 14.5 stone between the two groups, and that just to me sounds incredible. I mean, that's over 200 pounds in weight between the two groups. It's just so encouraging. Yeah, Naomi gets some amazing results because she is a very, very motivating consultant. She works the plan, or she lives the plan. She's got a personality which is absolutely beautiful and a genuine way of caring for people. It really matters to her that we get the best out of this plan. And she's a straight talking lady with a very kind attitude. And when we start waffling and we start making excuses, she makes it very clear that she knows what we're doing, and she very politely picks us up on it. So I think to sum it up, you could not bullshit Naomi Wagstaff. Because she lives the plan, she's heard it all before, she's probably done most of it in her time. She keeps us on track, she keeps us moving forward, being positive, aiming high, shooting for the stars. 2 people get to Target this morning, fabulous. We had about, 8 or 9 awards given out. And one lovely lady who for Lent wants to do an act of kindness every day for 40 days left hi-fi bars for everybody who got an award this week. And I thought, how lovely was that? But we are that kind of group, we care about each other. I think there are people in that group who would do anything for each other. I didn't have transport to get to group and back this morning because Joe was working. Oh yeah, lady picked me up, brought me home, no problem. She went out of her way to do it. And that's the kind of group I belong to. And I think because we're all givers, then, we all get a chance to help each other. And that matters when you're in a body of people who are getting to know each other and you're all aiming to get to the same place and you all care about whether the other people get there. We don't sit in group and scoff at anybody who's had a bad week. We try to help each other. And that really, really matters to me. So, group was brilliant, as ever. But do you know what struck me this morning? I think a lot of work goes into my group. The quality of the meetings is first class. And it took 5 people 30 minutes to put the room back this morning. Take off all the cloths from the tables, take down all the boards and all the equipment and clear, just literally pack everything away. Now usually, we walk out at the end of the group and we don't see that. We don't see all the effort that goes into setting up group and we don't see all the effort that goes into clearing away afterwards. And my consultant, I think, would be proud for anybody to walk into that meeting because the way she runs that meeting she's a wonderful ambassador for Slimming World. Absolutely wonderful. And I was just, surprised this morning by how much work goes into running a good meeting. So, thanks Naomi, you're a star. I couldn't do this without her. I would not be where I am today without my consultant and without going to group every week, which is a big key to this plan. That ties in with what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about having faith. Now, I'm not talking spirituality or religion here. That's not what my channel's about. My channel is about maintaining a weight loss on Slimming World. And when I talk about having faith, to me the word faith means, and Joe is just going to read the definition for me. Joe?
Complete trust or confidence in someone or something.
Okay. Complete trust or confidence in someone, excuse my stomach rumbling, in someone or something. Now, as a totally blind person, I have to have complete trust in some people. I've got a circle of friends who I have complete trust in, who I go out and about with. They have my back in all sorts of circumstances. I've got Joe, who's grown up with me as a blind mum. Although I wasn't totally blind when Joe was small, he's grown up with it. And I go out and about with Joe and we go into every situation in lots of different settings, and I have to have complete trust or complete faith in Joe, because when we're dashing through a railway station or a tram station or a busy shopping centre and Joe moves an inch to the left, I have to go with him. When Joe goes down a flight of stairs, I have to go with him. I can't sort of stop and say, I can't do this. I've just got to have complete trust in him, feel where his body's moving and go with it. That's not easy. It gets easier as you do the longer you've done it. But if I was to say to you today, let me blindfold you and get your husband or your son to dash around a city centre with you, I can assure all of you, you'll probably find it quite terrifying. But because I've got complete trust, and I know there are probably other visually impaired people who watch this who will understand what I mean, because I've got complete trust in Joe, I don't even need to think about it. I just do it. Now, I also have complete trust in the Slimming World plan. I'm not sitting here and claiming it's perfection, because it isn't. If you analyse it, you know, we all criticise the app, it could be a lot better, but then so could I. We all moan about the word sin. Well, not all of us. A lot of people moan about the word sins. It could be better. Or could it? What would we change it for? If we changed it for the word points, we'd be accused of copying Weight Watchers. We could change it and call it rainbow drops. But what really matters is not what we call it, it's what we do with it and whether we count them. And that's down to us. It's not down to Slimming World. Slimming World can call them fairy lights. Slimming World can call them anything they like. But the bottom line is how I count them is what makes the difference. So if Slimming World decided tomorrow to change the world and change the word and to call them sparkly stars to match the sparkly castle or whatever people call it, would it make a difference to my weight loss? No. Because what makes a difference is how I count them and whether I take responsibility for them. This conversation about whether they should be called sins and whether that applies there's something bad or something naughty, or whether that attracts us to the programme because we want to be bad or we want to be naughty. This conversation's been going on, to my knowledge, for over 30 years. I can remember sitting in the pub 30 years ago debating it. I can remember standing in the chip shop queue debating it and planning not to count my after weigh-in fish and chips. Maybe if I'd counted my after weigh-in fish and chips every week back then, I'd have got a better loss and got to target. That wasn't Slimming World's fault, that was my fault. A group this morning, we had the inevitable Porky Lights debate. Now, they're just a sausage. I'm not going to go into the situation of, you know, are Slimming World right, are Porky Whites right, whatever. That's politic. I'm not interested. They're just a sausage. But what I am going to say is, if you want to eat a Porky Lights sausage and you still want to count half a sin, that's your business, that's your weight loss. We have a girl in our group who eats them regularly, who's continued to eat them this week and count half a sin, who still had a weight loss. But if you're going to stand in the queue this morning and use the excuse that you had a gain because of Porky Lights when you've been eating them for the last 2 months, you're kidding yourself. What I am saying about trusting in this plan is, don't focus all your energies on looking for the faults and the cracks, because they are there. This is real life. You could find a lot of cracks in my life. I could find a lot of cracks in your life. But what we need to do is believe in this plan. If we believe in it and we follow it and we do it to the best of our ability and we count our sins and we weigh our healthy extras, we eat our free food and our speed food, we follow the 1/3, 2/3 principles for food optimizing, it works. It can't fail to work. It works. We see proof of this every week at group. Young Jane, as I think of her, because she's way, way, way younger than me, Jane SW said something this week which I thought was really valuable. Her consultant is called Anna, and she regularly mentions Anna, and Anna watches Jane's videos. And Jane shared that Anna had said, it kind of works if you kind of work it. And that more or less lines up with what I often say, it works if you work it. And I think it came up in my group several times this morning when people were saying, you know, I had so-and-so, so-and-so, and Naomi will say, how many sins is that? And, well, I think it's 2. But do you know that? Now, I'm not criticising these people because I've done that. Yesterday on our Sainsbury's weekend shopping video, Joe was looking at the olives that I had. He didn't know the sink out of his head. I shouted from the bedroom, 1 or 1.5. I knew it was one or the other, but I hadn't checked. I did check before I ate them. It was fine. But, you know, we can all be very relaxed about it. We cannot expect perfection from Slimming World. But what I want to say to people is, don't get caught up in analysing the minutiae, because that will knock you off your plan. Keep the focus on working the plan. Keep the focus on protecting your weight loss. Don't worry about other people. Don't worry about the bigger picture. Yeah, we can all analyse everything, and we should do our research. I would have fallen foul of it this week without Lindsay's help. In our first shopping video this week, we bought some super sprouts from Sainsbury's. Never crossed my mind for one moment that they would be sins. They're just sprouted vegetable seeds. We put it up on our shopping video. Lindsay, thank goodness, picked it up and was thoughtful enough to point it out. 3.5 sins for a packet of sprouted seeds. 26 calories. Now, is there any sense to that? Probably not. But I'd still rather spend 3.5 sins on a packet of sprouted seed than a packet of hula hoop puffs. That's my choice. It doesn't always appear logical. There may be big mistakes in there, like I said the other week about the almond milk. Excuse me.
I think we've looked before as well that there's like a soya yogurt as well.
Oh, there's a definite mistake there. That's definitely a wrong sin count. But these things are not going to ruin our plan unless we let them.
No.
But getting bogged down into worrying about the quality of the Slimming World diet, the quality of the management, are they battling with Porky Lights because the sales of their own sausages have gone down? All of that is irrelevant to us. I count that, this thing in the media this week about the sausages, this thing in social media that Slimming World members are saying, Slimming World are doing this because the sales of their own sausages are down and Porky Lights are too...
You said you weren't getting into the politics.
But it is just the politics of it. It doesn't affect my daily plan. Don't get het up and bogged down in things like that. It's a sausage. It's irrelevant. Just focus on weighing your healthy extras, counting your sins, eating your free food, getting plenty of speed food in, and we can't fail. We can do this if we don't get caught up in the minutiae. So, have a great week on plan, but before I go, let me share with you the fact that I want to do a giveaway today. And this giveaway is because I am 15 months at Target, so 1.25 years. I plan to do quarterly giveaways. Also realised, looking at my calendar this week, that it's 7 years on Tuesday since I started this weight loss journey. I like the number 7. In the Bible it's the whole number, but it's always been my lucky number. So when I started this weight loss journey, I weighed 22 stone. I did it in 3 phases. I went to 16.5 stone, plateaued there, maintained for a while. Then I went to 13 stone 8, plateaued there, maintained for a while. Then I joined Slimming World, and as of today, I have a 4 stone weight loss at Slimming World, a total weight loss of 12 stone 6 pounds. And I'm maintaining. I think what I've learned along the journey is at each of those plateau stages, I learned to maintain that weight. Then when I felt safe, I came down a bit more, 3 stone more. Felt safe again, I've come down 4 stone more. And now I'm feeling I can cope with this maintenance thing because I've had time in that 7 years to change so many of my unhealthy bad habits and come to terms with things like comfort eating, emotional eating, and they're never going to go away totally, but I have better coping mechanisms today, I have better coping strategies today. I don't fall head over heels straight into those things without reacting differently today. And because of making these videos for over 1 year, and the people I've met, the comments I get, the friends I've made, all of these things strengthen my way of living this lifestyle. Not this diet, it's not a diet, it's a lifestyle. So to show an appreciation for that, every quarter I intend to do a giveaway. But I think what struck me this morning, thinking about those 7 years, is in 7 years I have been on a weight loss journey and a maintenance journey. I have not, in those 7 years, escalated upwards. I haven't lost a certain amount of weight and then put some on. In the past I would lose 3 stone, gain 4, lose 5 stone, gain 7, lose 8 stone, gain 9. I'm not doing that now, and I haven't done that for 7 years. And I hadn't realised until I actually looked back on my journey. For 7 years I've been coming down. Now, my weight loss has been quite slow. If I look back over my history with Slimming World, it was £0.5 to £1 a week. But it taught me that losing it slowly has helped me to keep it off, because in the past I could drop 3 or 4 pounds every week to get to where I wanted to be, and then, whew, thank goodness that's over, I can go back to eating the way I used to. And in the time I lost 5 stone, I could regain 6 or 7. I'm not going to do that again. I'm just not going to do that again. So to show my appreciation, we have a giveaway this week, and it's a set of Salter Aquatronic scales. These scales weigh in grams, ounces and millilitres, and I use the millilitre measure on my talking scales to measure my milk allowance as I put it into my coffee or whatever I use it on. These weigh up to 5 kilos, they have a 15-year guarantee, and I'm sure somebody out there could offer them a good home. To enter the competition, I would ask that, to make it fair for the people who've been watching me for a long time, you are actually a subscriber. I think that's, everybody's coming from the same place then, aren't they? And could you just comment? You don't need to give it a like or anything, but just comment and say, if you were going to use these scales to measure a healthy extra A or B, what would be your choice? So, for example, would it be 40 grams of porridge? Would it be 400 millilitres of skimmed goat's milk? What would it be? So yeah, just keep it as simple as that, and then next week Joe will use the random selector to select a winner, and then these will come out in the post to whoever is fortunate enough to be picked. So it's been a good week for us. It's been a really busy week, but it's been a good week, and I've enjoyed every mouthful of food I've had this week, and that's the key to the plan for me. If I don't enjoy it, I throw it away. And there are times, aren't there, Joe, when I actually sit down with a meal and I say, I'm not enjoying this, I'm not going to finish it. I couldn't have done that at one time. It wouldn't have mattered that much at one time. It was just food. Today I have a different attitude to food because of this plan, because I have faith and I trust this plan. And I'm just hoping and believing that this is the way I'm going to eat for the rest of my life.
I think I was watching a video yesterday, and he was saying how every mouthful is a decision between, I know it's a bit extreme, but between life and death. Like, or you could imagine, like, every sorry, I'm terrible at explaining myself, aren't I?
Spit it out.
Every mouthful can either be towards health,
Yeah.
or towards
Unhealth.
Well, yeah. I was going to say death, but that sounds a bit morbid. Like,
so you can put good food into your mouth, like I was saying earlier, or you can put dead food in.
Yeah,
and it makes a difference.
But and each mouthful is kind of stepping either direction, isn't it?
Yeah. And I think for me this week it's helped me, because Joe and I often have these sort of conversations. He's much more interested in health and well-being, and he's got me looking at anti-aging. Not that I want to look like a 40-year-old, I just don't want to look like a 70-year-old or an 80-year-old before I am 70 or 80, if you know what I mean. But it matters what I put in my body today.
Yeah,
focusing on healthy options.
I guess what I'm really trying to say is that you've always got a choice. Like, food doesn't start the digestion process when it's in your mouth. It starts with you choosing the food in the first place. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, like, there isn't a point in saying, I've blown it this week, I'm just going to blow it for the rest of the week. I blew it yesterday, I might as well start again next week, because every single mouthful is a choice either towards health or unhealth. So
I know for years,
forgive yourself.
My week starts, do forgive yourself if you slip up, because my week starts on a Saturday, and I know in days gone by when I was on Slimming World, if I had messed around Saturday, Sunday, Monday, I would have thought it's not worth getting back on plan till Saturday. Today, like Joe says, I look at the next mouthful. All I can do on this plan is take it one day at a time, or one mouthful at a time. If I had blown breakfast this morning, I wouldn't continue and blow lunch and dinner, because I know better now. And Joe is right, we do need to forgive ourselves, because it's always about the next mouthful. And as I said, I think it was last week, for me it starts with going to the shops, what's on the shelves, what I pick up from the shelf or what I choose to leave on the shelf. Because I'm safer if the stuff I shouldn't be eating is still on the shelf in Sainsbury's or Asda than I am, because if the thought has started with, I could get away with that. I hate that phrase. Let's look at what you can get away with. Let's look at what I can eat this week and get away with it without getting a weight gain. Who are you conning? If I can be thinking, I'm going to buy that, let me see when I can eat that when Joe's out. What can I get away with? That's dangerous, stinking thinking. And if the next stage is bringing it into the house and sitting it on the shelf, that's dangerous behaviour. So for me today, what I eat starts with what I pick up in the supermarket. Not just what I put on my plate. It goes way back beyond that. The safest place for me to be, living and thinking is leave it on the supermarket shelf if it's not what I should be eating. Bring into my house what I should be eating, then I've always got plenty of choice. And while I've got plenty of choice, I'm not going to fall off the wagon. And I love this plan, and it gives me endless choice in food. For anybody who's bored, read your books again, because there's a plethora of food that we can eat on this plan. And it's anything. I was talking with a lovely lady called Elaine earlier in the week about people who like to bake, and Elaine gave me a little tip which I thought was marvellous. She likes to bake, she makes wonderful scones, but for herself she makes smaller scones. You can still eat the food you enjoy, you just look at your portion size. It's the key to it all. Now, if you can still have a scone and enjoy it within your sins, why not do that? Don't be looking at what's the most I can get. Oh, I could have 30 Mercados. Have something you actually enjoy. Love this plan, trust it and work with it. It works. It'll protect you, it'll help you, you'll get the weight off, you'll maintain that weight loss. It's powerful stuff. Anyway, I'm going to get on with my day. Remember, as I always say, or as I'm going to say in future, it works if I work it. It won't if I don't. You've got a choice. Cheers. Bye.